And I don't find it anywhere. I want to keep it.
We're live.
Good morning. Good morning. How you folks doing? This is Terrific Tuesday. Did you feel the chill in the air this morning?
Yes, it was
Doesn't
definitely
it feel
different.
good? Have you slept with your windows open yet? The fall is here, and I am loving the feeling of the weather on my skin.
I am enjoying the weather.
Yep. So we do have a topic today. Today's topic is what moves you more? What motivates you more? Is it the thrill of victory
or
the avoidance of the agony of defeat? What's a bigger more motivator?
You added the word the avoidance of. I don't think the avoidance of has anything to do with it, but we're gonna talk about it.
I did add a word.
We're gonna talk about it. We'll be right back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, and I swear I lost an entire day. I woke up today feeling all of Wednesday. My goodness, but today is Tuesday.
She did wake up feeling Wednesday. She made a flyer that said so. But it makes sense to me how that happened because we traveled all weekend.
We didn't have a stop, so Monday felt like Tuesday.
Yeah.
And today felt like Wednesday, but it's okay.
And your body will tell on you too. That expression, the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat, it came from the mid-'70s. There was a TV show that come on every Saturday afternoon called The Wide World of Sports. And it had really great music.
When did it come on?
On Saturdays around 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh, we didn't have televisions at that time.
Okay. It was called The Wide World of Sports. It had great music. I
remember that song.
Yes, you do. It was
I probably remember that's when I turned off the television.
It was ABC's Wide World of Sports.
That was when I turned off the television.
And it had a beautiful poem and had a great voiced announcer. And he'd say things like, the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat.
Hey, Miss Phyllis.
The human drama of athletic competition. And it would run in the background of this beautiful music and this great voiceover and this great poem. They would run video of like a skier coming down the slope, all smooth, and then taking off. And it says the thrill of victory. Yep. And then another skier coming down and tumbling over and over again, falling off and breaking their legs, or the agony of defeat. Okay. So that got into the lexicon. It got into our heads, got into our hearts, got into part of our language. The thrill of victory or the agony of defeat, the human drama of athletic competition. I said all of that long diatribe because my Giants played the Cowgirls last night.
Hey, Melissa, good morning. Good morning, Chocolate Butterfly.
Good morning, and good morning to you, Sister Julie Ray Hammondtree, Phyllis George, Melissa Price as well. And I was all geared up. I took a nap and everything. And I knew by the time the game was over, I was going to be either very happy or very sad. And my wife asked me a poignant question. She goes, why would anybody do that? When it's going to impact your mood so much and it's going to cause you so much angst and all that kind of stuff. Why would you do that?
You don't have anything in the game.
I'm not playing in the game.
He's not playing. He's not betting.
Why would I do that?
He's not invested in it, meaning financially, he doesn't have stocks in it. Like, why are you putting yourself through that?
And then I said to her, baby, it's the ultimate drama. It's the human drama of athletic competition. It's the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat. Now, my team lost last night, so my cell phone won't work for a day or two. Okay? No, it won't.
Lord have mercy.
So we asked the question of you, what motivates you more?
What motivates you more? Is it the thrill of victory or is it the agony of defeat? What actually gets you moving?
When I said, when I introduced, I added a word. I said the avoidance of the agony of defeat, because I think that's what it is. But you said, "Oh, we're going to talk about it." I added, are you more motivated to avoid losing, or are you more motivated for the quest for the win? Okay, what excites you more, or do you play harder? I'm running sports metaphors with life metaphors, of course, but do you play harder to avoid losing, or do you play harder chasing the win? And so many teams do that. Boxers do that. Sometimes they play the game trying not to lose, and sometimes they play the game trying to win. Now, when people are playing not to lose, they tend to play more defensively. Okay, they're not trying to score themselves. They're just trying to keep themselves from being scored upon.
Right.
They're not trying to hit the other boxer. They're trying to avoid being hit. They're playing not to lose. And that's a strategy sometimes. Sometimes you got to, like we experienced during pandemic, we had to hunker down for 6 months, a year and a half, then 2 years. I didn't say hunker down for 2 years straight, because after about the first 6 months to a year, a lot of us pivoted and figured out different ways to make it happen. So, but at first we was all hunkering down, buying toilet tissue. Andre says, "Love you both."
We love you too, and I'm struggling to get to the broadcast. That's what's taking me so long.
But I could keep going.
Yeah, you can.
Are any of you guys old enough to remember ABC's Wide World of Sports? Now, this is back in the days when we had 4 channels, okay? And one of those channels was fuzzy. ABC's Wide World of Sports. How about your life being a wide world of sport? And I will tell you, your life is way more wild than any sport. The ups and downs, the highs and lows of your life are way more wild than any sport.
So what actually motivates you more? What part of it? So let's say that we're using this analogy as a representation of your life, your goals, your dreams, right? So not betting on someone else, but betting on yourself. How or which motivates you more? Does the agony of defeat, does that motivate you when you actually fail? Does that force you to pick it up, kick it up, pick it up and kick it up, to go up a notch? Or the desire for the thrill of victory, moving towards a winning day? Or is it both? How does that impact you? Do you feel like you hit the ground running better if you're coming up out of a slump, if you've already failed miserably, if things are horrible, if things are not going well for you? Or do you soar when you are already winning?
As Lisa was saying, that reminded me of my Uncle Danny.
Good morning, Dorothy.
Uncle Danny had a son, my cousin Kevin, who was about 6 months younger than me. He's an attorney in Florida now. And in the winter times in New York, you're not going outside. So you're playing board games in New York. Okay, a lot of board games we play, or cards. And my Uncle Danny would play me and my cousin Kevin in checkers. And he would beat us one after another all day, every day, never letting us win. And we would be trying. We were smart kids. We were 10, 11 years old. We were paying attention to the game. We were watching each other's games, trying to figure out how to beat Uncle Danny. And Uncle Danny never let us win a thing. Now, there's a philosophy that became popular to tell parents, you should let your child win from time to time, because that will motivate them to keep trying. Let them have a win from time to time.
Good morning, Katura. I thought you up. I had you in my mind just now.
So should you let the child win even if they're not good enough to beat the Uncle Dannies in their life? Or should you just let Uncle Danny keep beating them? Because is it going to motivate them more to try harder when they keep losing? Or would you encourage them more by letting them win from time to time?
That's an interesting concept. And I honestly believe that much like how I was thinking about this whole thing, there's room for both.
Well, we actually did either we did a show years ago, or I did a talk on it years ago. I called up my cousin, Jimmy, who happens to be born on the same day. He's a pastor now in Monroe, North Carolina. He's been a pastor for many, many years. And I said, I'm thinking about this thought of, should you ever let your kids win in anything? Okay, let them win. He goes, God sent you to me to ask me this question, Brian. I am the right person to ask this question to. I wrestled with my kids and I wrestle with my grandkids now, and I will never let them win anything wrestling. Okay, because they have to learn to beat me is because they got good. I'm never gonna let them win. He felt like you steal from them if you let them win anything, you're kind of robbing something from them. Their esteem is not going to be, because they figure out at some point, oh, I wasn't as good as I thought I was in that moment. He let me win. My dad and I used to foot race, and he would beat me every time until I got old enough and my legs got strong enough that I could beat him in a race. And I remembered, yeah, finally I'm fast enough to beat my dad in a race. I remember when I beat my dad in basketball for the first time. I was 16 years old because he would beat me all the time. So now I am sure it motivates me more, the thrill of victory, the chase of victory. Especially, I'm going to reveal something to you. My friends, my cousins, my family, they could beat me in basketball. They could beat me in pool, okay? But if they ever beat me in playing pool or basketball, one-on-one, that means we got to play again. Because Brian, I've been told this over and over again, Brian does not let anybody beat him and leave. You got to play him again and again and again. You can beat me 6 times, but I'm going to make you keep playing me till I get a win, and then I can leave. I won't even let him leave. What's up, Mr. Ken Newbill? The fatigue fixer himself is here.
Good morning. Good morning, Monique. Good morning, Dr. Deborah. Good morning, Brent. Thank
What
you
a
for
cool
joining.
moniker, right?
Good.
The fatigue fixer, Ken Newbill.
Good morning, Dr. Beverly. So once again, just like the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, I don't disagree, but what I am saying is that there are often a need to have more than one ideal in your arsenal. If you believe that there's a one size fits all, there are circumstances that may not be applicable.
Okay.
There are circumstances where, depending on the child, depending on the adult, depending on the circumstances, depending on the ability, depending on what the motivational need is, that having them win or having them lose of their own volition could be positive or negative.
I can imagine a scenario where it might be helpful to let them win, like if the child is mentally challenged or has been failing for a long time. Sister Beverly says,
I want you to hear how you equated that. That if they are mentally challenged or if they have been failing for a long time.
I think it's important to feed them a win, is what I was suggesting.
But you went to 2 very different and extreme.
No, I gave 2 different examples.
Absolutely.
I didn't say they were the same example.
No, I didn't say that you said that they were the same. I think that if they needed a win is an important scenario for a child.
Okay.
You don't want a first grader to be competing immediately at the beginning of a scenario with a college student.
Sure, because then that first grade, no, I have to get that to that level to
Right.
beat that college
That's
student.
What's going to happen every time.
No, Dr. Beverly
Exactly.
says.
All I'm saying to you is it may not.
Let me catch up. We got a couple of comments. Dr. Beverly says, "Good morning, awesome people. Knowing all is grateful with a heart and blessed." Brother Brent Gaskin says, hashtag for me, the agony of defeat motivates him more. And he's a professional actor. Sad Cardinal. Dr. Deborah Dunn says, good morning. Ken Newbill says, grand rising. And he also says, great message this morning. I love the thrill of victory.
Absolutely. But sometimes the thrill of victory, when you're at the top of your game, could that not allow you the mindset that you might be able to rest on your laurels?
That could happen over time, resting on laurels. For example, if you were in a boxing match. Now, you don't box or anything like that, but imagine if you were in a boxing match and your opponent was good. And you were good too. Let's say you had trained for this boxing match. You had trained for 6 months. You're prepared for it. And your opponent also trained for 6 months and prepared for it too. And when the battle is going on, there are some moments where you're fighting and it's hard and you're feeling some pain and you're delivering some pain too. And you're giving and receiving and you're fighting. You are freaking fighting in a good fight and you end up winning. Mm-hmm. Now, in that moment, when you know you trained and prepared, you know you fought the good fight, and you feel like you won and you deserve to win because you had done all it took to win that fight, you're going to experience a thing in that moment when they raise your hand. That thing that you're going to experience is the thrill of victory over a hard-fought battle, right? Now, in that moment, you're not resting on any laurels. You're appreciating what you had to do to get that thrill of victory. Entrepreneurial friends, when you gain a new client, you experience it. I believe you can experience the thrill of victory because you can appreciate what you had to do in order to gain that new paying client.
Ken says to me, a winner is about winning every time you step up to the plate. The win is an internal victory and not an outwardly one.
Love it. Love it. So in that scenario, can you see what I mean by it's more challenging to suggest you're resting in your laurels? You had earned that thrill of victory.
And if you're a winner and you are winning, do you still have the same level of gotta go get it as if you are coasting because you're winning in so many things?
That happens a lot, especially when people are on a winning streak or an incredible winning streak. But there's another level that happens before you get to the coasting. When you get the thrill of victory, when you overcome and you achieve the level of success. And then you get to the place and you start winning and winning and winning, like you just suggested. You get to the place where you fully expect to win. You just fully expect to. Mm-hmm. You know, you get that, and there's a different feeling, a different look, and a different vibe comes on you. You just expect every time you try, you're going to win. And then you get past that. It gets too much, and that comes into what's called overconfidence, and you get defeated every time. Okay, every time. I remember in my life, I had ran a streak where I had sold like 10 sales in a row, and I would make a killer money, and I was super cocky, and I was taking new reps with me, and everybody was praising Brother Brian. You're the best salesman, and da-da-da. And I went through the stages. I had expected to make every sale. I felt like if I crossed the threshold of their home or office, if they were home or they're at their office, if I crossed the threshold entering the building, it was going to be a sale for me. That's how cocky I had gotten. Okay, and I remember this one where they gave me a lame objection, and I knew how to handle those lame objections, and I was ready. And I gave them my pat answers, and then I leaned back like, ta-da, or I know that's going to work. And that feeling, that look that crossed my face, or the shadow that crossed my face, or the overconfidence that crossed my face, I believe they picked up on it and immediately shut it down. The game was over because of my overconfidence.
Absolutely. I think that definitely has an impact on interactions.
Good morning, Miss Nancy. Brennan Resmer, good morning to you. How you doing?
Good morning, Dr. Benny. Thank you for joining us.
A lot of you guys on here are old enough to remember Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson in 86, 87, 88 was destroying the heavyweight division. He had trained from the age of 14 to the age of 20, and he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the age of 20 years old, destroying everybody, knocking them out, intimidating them, scaring everybody. Comedians made all kinds of jokes about how afraid they would be to have to fight Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson had gotten to that stage where he expected to win. And then he went past that, where he thought he didn't have to train as hard to win. He could actually go to Japan and do the Caligula thing and drink and not train as hard, just walk in and knock out Buster Douglas. But Buster Douglas had gone through that stage where he was still trying. He had not yet achieved that level of success. He was in that growing mode. He was in that striving mode. And Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas got in that ring, and from the first round of that fight on, you could see Douglas was not there to just take his loss. He was not going to be the sacrificial lamb. And he went ahead and bullied and punched and surprised Mike Tyson the whole night until he knocked him out, and Mike had his first major defeat, lost his belt. Okay? He had gotten past it. So he experienced the agony of defeat, and it was largely his fault.
Absolutely. That can happen and does happen at times. I want to share with you, once again, we are the Empowerment Duo. We are going to be coming to you live Monday through Friday right here on the Empowerment Network. But from time to time, we are going to bring a friend along, actually, a couple of friends. So we look forward to introducing you once again to For Life Couple. We're going to share that with you, share them with you. Right back in a moment.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Couture Green.
And I am Tarnez Green.
And we are For Life Couple. We are the guest co-host for the Empowerment Duo,
Hosted by Lisa Santiago McNeill
and Brian K. McNeill of the Empowerment Duo Network, every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
You'll be glad you did. We would like to leave you with the 3 B's.
The 3 B's.
Yes. Be kind.
Be great.
And be intentional.
Team Green.
Out.
Peace.
How cool is that? Bees.
I love that. The 3 B's.
They delight me every time I see their commercials.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, they're not my brother. He's not my brother. And no, she's not Lisa's sister, but they look like they could be our stunt doubles. And I got that term
She's
from
not my biological sister, but
from
she is my sister.
Tarnez. He called themselves our stunt doubles, and I like it. I want to catch up some of these comments here.
Tarnez says, winning is not the results, it's the journey. Amen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Andrea Chocolate Butterfly Williams says, definitely motivated to pursue success. Remembering my failures, it's my win, with it all caps. And then Dr. Deborah says,
after Brian's training, I went through a stage where I got new clients 3 days in a row. After that, I felt victorious. So I sat back and did not work as hard at prospecting. Got too comfortable. My money went down and I had to start back again. That definitely happens. That to me is one of the benefits of staying on the wheel. Because honestly, there is a correlation with prospecting and sales. And there is a moment where not only are you making the sales, but now you have to go into service so that there's less time for prospecting. But you've got to keep that humming. You got to keep that wheel greased, and you got to keep it humming, particularly if you're a solo entrepreneur. Even if you have a team, there are certain levels of sales and prospecting that can only done by you, because the people are ultimately hiring you and your results. So you can get attraction out there, you can get awareness out there, but at the end of the day, they want to see you doing what you do so that they can decide whether or not they want to do what they do with you.
Love it, Lisa. Dr. Deborah, I appreciate your transparency this morning. That whole thing about when you stop doing this or when you stop working this hard, the money goes down. I will tell you that's an affliction that almost all entrepreneurs experience. Again and again and again. I'm going to post it again. I downloaded the stats about how most entrepreneurs never ask for business. Some entrepreneurs ask once or twice and then they stop. Fully 73% of entrepreneurs either never ask for business or ask for business less than 2 times and then stop. But most sales happen between the 5th and 12th attempt, and I have these stats and I'm going to post it again. And then I've exchanged some conversations this morning with another sales champion friend of mine. His name is Mr. Jeff Goldberg. He runs the Sales Pro Network. And I was telling him how I feel like I need to start preaching that entrepreneurial friends or people employed, before you quit your job, get you one paying client.
Get a sale.
Yeah.
Please don't just have a premise. Don't just have an idea. Have proof of concept.
Yes.
It is really, really important, because you're going to learn a couple of things. A, it's not that easy, but you're also going to learn whether or not you're priced properly, because when you get that sale and you have to do fulfillment, you might have thought that it was a lot, but then when you get ready to deliver, you'll be like, wait a minute, this should have been priced differently, or this should have been something, and you'll have less to delve through.
And one of your ancillary benefits might need to become the primary benefit, because your market has taught you that they want that thing instead of what you thought.
Absolutely.
Your market will teach you when you gain a paying client.
Absolutely. Dr. Beverly says, if you are not dead, you didn't get defeated.
Ooh.
If you are on your back, you have something to look up to. If you have fallen, you get up more times than you fall.
Remember, you get up more times than you fall.
The agony of defeat is only if you don't restart, redo, try again.
Yeah. The agony of defeat, though. Imagine an Olympic sprinter. Okay, what's his name? Deadman. Okay, any Olympic sprinter. Don't have to be that story. Who trained for 4 years for the Olympics. Because it's only Olympics every 4 years. So he went to one Olympics, or he failed to make that Olympics, so he wants to try again. So he trains for 4 years. He's competing, he's developing, he's getting coached, he's getting nutrition for 4 years for the 100-yard dash, which typically takes about 10 seconds or less. Okay, training all this time. And when the Olympics come, he has to qualify for the Olympics too.
Right.
So he trained, and then he qualifies. That means he earned the right to compete for the gold medal. He qualified. And I'll never forget this one guy on the Olympics, Canada, one of the fastest men in the world at the time. And when the Olympics 100-meter dash came, on your mark, get set, he false started. Okay, which means he took off before the gun ran. Before the go. So they told him to get back. Okay, get back. They let you do false start once, but that's it. Okay. And then when they started again, he slightly false started. But the gun was about to go off, but they could determine that he took off before the gun. So they said, you're disqualified. Okay. They disqualified him. Now he know all the work that he put into to get to this point. He says, no, I'm not disqualified. We're going to try it again. He didn't want to leave. No, start over. He wouldn't leave because he knew what he had put into it. He wasn't willing to just not run this race after all of that. He wanted to fight for it, but he didn't win that fight. They dragged his butt off the track.
Yes. You can't just make up your own rules when you're ready. Dr. Benny, thank you for joining. I am enjoying.
I appreciated all the work he took getting to that point.
Good job. Dr. Benny says, we're made in the image of God, and God is a finisher. So we are finishers. Anything we finish, we are winners. So if you don't finish, God isn't in it.
Ooh.
Don't forget, you are a finisher.
Love that word. Today's topic is the thrill of victory
or
the agony of defeat. What motivates you? What pulls you more? Some of you guys remember the Wide World of Sports theme. Why do grown men who do not play sports watch pro football and watch pro sports? We don't play. And if you're not betting, why do you watch? You have nothing at stake. But yes, we do. We attach our feelings to our team. And when our team wins, we're happier. Like me, I'm happier when the New York Giants win. I'm not as happy when they don't win. And I'm especially not happy when they lose to the Cowgirls. Ah! Okay, why do I get that angst? Why? Okay, it's the human drama of athletic competition. The drama, the potential to win or lose. That drama is what we feed off of.
Last night while Brian was in the man cave dealing with all of his drama, I had the opportunity.
Wait, this drama. Like that? Really? Okay, go ahead.
It was psychological drama. There's nothing, you just took yourself through all of these things and you're not there.
Oh man, I was into it too. I'm yelling at the TV.
I didn't hear anything. I was in here working.
Dang! I was all of that.
I worked from 8 until 11:30 last night. Specifically, I set aside this time to work on the project that I am really, really loving, delving into. You can't wait until you see this book. This book, Dr. Benny's book, Tell All, I'm Not That Way Anymore. You guys are going to be at the edge of your seat. And I particularly enjoyed working on it. I am on my way to getting through. Dr. Benny is going to be on the show soon to introduce himself to you and to share the book with you.
Amen. Sister Andrea Williams says, the same reason we look at reality TV, we want to see our people win.
Absolutely.
Now, if everybody on the reality TV got along,
Is that what happens in football?
No, but I'm making a point.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody got along and if everybody won, how interesting would the show be? Somebody has to lose for the shows to be interesting, and some people have to have. You need some kind of what's the word? It's not protagonism going on.
Mm-hmm.
Protagonism going on for the show to be interesting. A great movie needs a bad guy.
That's what
villain.
you think, and that's what I think. That's what I think has been a challenge.
Aren't you said no about something?
That's what I think has been the challenge with finding a reality TV person or personality that has the appeal as some of these protagonists, some of these ratchet people, some of these things that cause angst, because we get rid of them. We stop watching them. We stop finding them interesting. For whatever reason, even when I know that I don't stop finding them interesting, you just start seeing their storyline less and less and less, unless they're fighting with somebody or being ratchet to somebody or being antagonistic to somebody.
Now, what is Andrea saying no to? Something I said?
Because you said that's why we watch reality TV. She explained this.
I didn't say that's why we watch it.
The reason that we watch reality TV is because we want to see our people win. But unfortunately, the showing of the winning is not always a positive trajectory. And the positive trajectory is not always interesting either.
And what is the win? Unless you see what they went over. How much fun would bowling be if you never saw pins get knocked down? Or if you never heard pins get knocked down? If there was a curtain down the lane that you can just roll the ball underneath that curtain and you can't tell how many pins you knock down, how much fun would bowling be? It wouldn't be fun at all. But right now it's a really, really fun game because you do get to knock down the pins and you get to see how many of them you knock down. Keeping score matters. The thrill of victory or the agony of defeat. Now, Lisa started to tell you guys a few minutes ago, this show is called Let's Talk About It.
With the Empowerment Duo.
Yes. We talk about personal conversations,
business information,
and spiritual inspiration.
With a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
Her name is still Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And he is still Brian K. McNeill.
Yes, and together make up what's called the Empowerment Duo. Some well-intentioned, good people sometimes feel like they're paying us a compliment, and they call us the Dynamic Duo. But really, the Dynamic Duo is Batman and Robin. We're going to let them keep their nickname. We are the Empowerment Duo.
Absolutely.
And as an Empowerment Duo, we have an expressed ministry. Now, our ministry, our collective expressed ministry is
economic independence
through
entrepreneurship.
That's it. That's what we believe in. That's what we preach and teach about. Economic independence through entrepreneurialism. Now, good morning, Miss Tamika Stafford. How are you? Today, we're talking about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. We have no challenges at all. We applaud people who are not entrepreneurial as yet. Okay, they're working gainfully employed in the employment of someone else. But a lot of them, I read the stats, they want to be entrepreneurs. Okay, and I'm going to say to you, Lisa and I alluded to it already on this broadcast. Friend, if you're an adult, you're gainfully employed in some capacity. Before you leave your job, please get you
a paying client.
A single paying client.
At least one.
One. If you want to quit your job and have a lawnmower service, get you one client. Okay. If you want to become a professional masseuse, get you one paying client. You need proof of concept.
Proof of concept is a thing. It is a real thing. I'm telling you. When I'm working, I like to listen to things, and sometimes I'll just listen to a book or listen to the radio or whatever, whatever that is. But last night I chose to listen to Shark Tank. And one of the things, it got tiring because for whatever reason they were in Christmas stuff, and I got tired of all the bells and jingles and everything. But there was a gentleman on the program, and he had made some tremendous strides in his business, meaning that he had some sales. He had a modicum of sales, enough to stand the ground, but Then he shared that he did not ever fly without a net. So he came from money, he was making money, and he had money. And that wasn't enough to know whether or not that was the reason for your sales success, or your tenacity and your ability and your desire to win and your faith in your product was your reason for winning.
Okay, this is interesting. He never flew without a net.
Never flew without a net.
Now, when we say flying without a net, it means
how much money did you yourself invest in your company?
Yeah,
$500,000. How many investors do you have? None.
So he had 500 grand. But as an entrepreneur, very often you don't have 500 grand. Very often you might not even have $5.
Right.
Okay. But you have a gift, a skill, or an idea. Okay. You have an urge, you have an unction, you have a work ethic. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you launch out there without a net.
Without a net.
Okay. Now, when you work without a net, that means if you don't win, if you don't make any money, you don't get any money.
Right.
If you don't make a sale, if you don't bring money in, you don't have any money. That
actually increases. I'm going to tell you, it definitely does. Working without a net definitely does increase your tenacity, your ability to succeed, because there's no other option.
If you didn't have that, it's juice. It's fuel. And I think you need that fuel. Now, I like it working without a net. I like it a lot. Because I know every single dollar that my wife and I bring into the house, even if it's a $20 book, I know it's because we produced something to get it.
Yeah, but sometimes I think you work better without a net. Like almost you need to be at no net to really work.
Get my juices really flowing. Yeah. And that's right. Because she bases that upon experience. When we get flush, when we get really, really comfortable, sometimes I don't earn as much. Okay. But when we need me to earn, I can bring it. Okay.
Good morning, Shirley. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Shirley DeJeanette Wyatt. Good morning to you, my sister. How are you this morning? Shirley, when you hear the concept of the thrill of victory
or the agony of defeat,
which one resonates with you more? You need a scarf?
I need a scarf.
What a random thought.
I know. It's very random. I don't know where it came from. Because I guess I was thinking I need jewelry. No, I don't need jewelry. I need a scarf. I need a red scarf. I have a red scarf.
I need $1 million. Okay. Sitting in the bank just in case I don't make any money.
That wouldn't do you good.
It would too do me good.
No, it would not.
It wouldn't do me no good?
Nope.
Okay, what if I just need a break? I just need the money. Shirley says victory would do it for her. The thrill of victory. The idea, one of my favorite quotes came from a guy in the 20s, to this guy named Josh Billings. And he said this, and I love this quote. Now, I wasn't around in the 20s. I read this in the 90s somewhere, but it stuck with me. The happiest time in a young man's life is when he's in red-hot pursuit of a dollar with a reasonable chance of overtaking it.
Absolutely.
When he's going for something with a reasonable chance. If you are a great caterer and a great cook and you learn how to package and present, and you don't have any clients at all, but you have the skill, you have the equipment, and you have the want to, okay, that's a happy moment, even if you don't have a client yet, because you're pursuing a client. Okay, you're pursuing a dollar, and you do have a reasonable chance. Lots of companies use caterers. You have a reasonable chance. So according to that quote, if that quote is true, and I believe it is, you're happier in that moment. Just like children are happier the day before Christmas than they are before Christmas, because they know it's coming. They're going for something.
Absolutely. But when it gets here, then all they can think about is what they didn't get, or how bored they are with what they did get.
Or after they play with the new stuff for the morning, the afternoon, go back to their favorite toys. Or they find themselves irritable and quarrelsome, okay, after Christmas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am telling you, one of the things that I also realized yesterday I knew that there was a game on last night, I knew that meant that there was going to be about a 3-hour window that my husband was going to be unavailable.
Yeah.
And I also knew that I had some work to get done, but that I also needed to have some me time. So I had started to good morning, Felicia. I started to get the work done first, right? Because the me time is the reward for doing the work in my mind. That was the way that I was going to work it. But I worked and 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 I worked. And I did not take any me time. When I said me time, I had planned to make some more acorn babies last night. I had planned to sit here and give myself about an hour of crafting and, enjoying my acorn babies. But actually working on the project was very fulfilling. And I just worked until my eyes didn't work anymore. So, good morning from Shirley to Felicia.
And also Shirley said, could I post that quote? No, what you can do is you can Google Josh Billing quotes. Look up Josh Billing quotes, or you can look up the happiest time in a young man's life and let Google help you finish it. You can find it.
So I didn't get to actually make more acorn babies last night, but I did get to still enjoy the acorn babies that were already made. And I realized that even in having them around, it was still really a reminder of self-care and all of the things that I had put into them. Yes, it's Josh Billings.
I think it's with an S. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Billings with an S. And so I am excited. I also had an appointment yesterday with a client or with an acquaintance, and we were talking about women's empowerment networks, which is.
Roll your eyes again. I'm gonna snatch them out your head. I want you to finish your story, baby. I just want to be mindful. That's all.
I am mindful. It's right in front of me.
It's freaking clues we do with each other.
Know.
I could have said, "Hey, Lisa, look at the clock."
You
or
might
I could
as well.
subtly point to the time.
But it's not subtle.
It's super subtle. Go ahead.
It's not. So, because Women Empowerment Networks is not until October the 4th of the next one. Mm-hmm. What I am going to do is I'm going to send out the instructions and the not ingredients, what do they call it? The items necessary to create your empowerment baby. And we are going to talk about what goes into making your own acorn baby, so that you can have your own little feeling of self-care, self-love, and we can do it together along with some of the exercise. So I'm going to be emailing you. If you're a member of the email address already, you'll get it. If you're not, go ahead and inbox me so I'll get you the instructions. And I'm also going to do some TikToks.
Now, I love the acorn babies.
About my acorn baby.
Look at what Lisa's holding up. That acorn baby she's holding up.
And I love my chocolate.
They look like acorn babies, but before they became acorn babies, they were just materials.
They were just materials. That's the word I was looking for. Materials.
But because you learned a way to put them together in a systematic format, shaped and formed, and now they look like acorn babies.
Absolutely. Okay. Acorn babies that look like me. Have a great day, Tamika. Absolutely. Thank you.
Dr. Beverly says, Andrew says, y'all too funny. Dr. Beverly says,
for whatever reason,
whatever is born of God, overcomes the world. That's the thrill of victory. Says we can keep going to the next thing with a greater excitement. And thank you, Sister Tamika, for wishing everyone a great day. And she says, Andrea says, I'm making chocolate butterfly babies to fund 100 dreams. Yeah, that's a great idea. So what Lisa was alluding to is a thing that she's going to have coming up. She's going to send, if you reach out, she's going to send you the instructions of what to get. And then you guys will have a live where Lisa will walk you through creating.
We will do it together, and we'll do more than the creating. We'll work on the workshop together.
Amen. Now, it's now 9:42. This is perfect timing for us. What we do, this show's been going on since October of 2016. And what we do is we like to the show does not work at all unless people contribute and say stuff. That's how the show works. And if people do contribute and say stuff, we like to thank them for that, especially our regular contributors and people that have been rocking with the show for years. The show's going on 6 years right now. And so up first today was Miss Phyllis George. She has earned herself a logo, and it goes like this. Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Up next after Miss Phyllis was Melissa Price. Melissa Price has a song that goes like this. Bam, 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 bam. Melissa's on. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's on. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price.
Absolutely.
Andrea Chocolate Butterfly has a song as well, and it goes,
Chocolate butterfly, sail across the waters. Tell your sons and your daughters what the promise brings.
There you go. Good job. Sister Crystal Blake has a song as well. Crystal Blake is in the air. Crystal Blake is everywhere. Helping families ensure their needs. Crystal Blake will do it with ease.
Couture's on.
Now, if you like these songs, you say, first off, you might think, hey, that seems kind of silly, but I like it. That seems kind of fun. You can get your own song too. The way you get your songs is to be a regular contributor and then recommend something to us. Couture Green has a song as well, and it goes, back to life, back to Couture Green.
However do you want it? However
do you need it?
Do you need it?
Dr. Beverly, uniquely taking over Thomas, has a logo that goes like this. Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Brother Brett, you've been hanging around long enough that you can get you a jam, man. Recommend a song for us that speaks to you and your spirit, and we'll find you a song for it, Brent, because you deserve one. Dr. Deborah Dunson has gotten one.
Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
Good morning. Sister Nancy, you keep coming, you're going to get you a jam. Tarners Green has a song as well, and it goes, do it, baby. Do it, baby. Do it, baby. Do it, Tarners, yeah. That's Tarners Green's jam right there.
Good morning again, Monique.
Mr. Ken Lewis, good morning. I didn't even see the celebrity swing through and say good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Congratulations. Got yet another award as a journalist. Who else? Good morning, Mary Jules from Hurricane. I didn't even see you there. Tamika, we got her. Anybody else got a song? Felicia Gardner has a song.
Felicia, we love you. You're the one.
The one for me. Felicia Gardner also says, sounds awesome, Lisa. I can't wait for the Acorn Baby event. And I'm wishing everyone a beautiful, healthy, blessed, and productive day today. Dr.
Yay.
Deborah says, I would love to have my song as an intro when I speak. How about that?
Love it, love it, love that. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys. I'm looking forward to the Acorn Babies event. I'm looking forward to just sharing, building, and growing. I have really enjoyed making, creating, and even conceptualizing the Acorn Babies. I actually went in my mind, I didn't physically go out yet, to find some other materials and notions, because even though you make the Acorn Babies in the outfit that they're going to wear, the outfits are removable. And I think I would like my Acorn Babies to be able to change clothes.
They don't need to change clothes, Lisa.
So I also realized that the Acorn Babies are shaped a lot like me. So if I could make some fly outfits for my Acorn Babies.
This is going to be a point of contention right now with Lisa and I. When she first started doing this in 2016, she put eyes and faces on them.
Yeah.
She does not have faces on these.
I actually may. Because
but you're welcome to on yours, is what I was going to say.
Yeah, we did. I did. And I went back and I saw some old pictures, and I did. I stopped putting the faces on them because I was concerned about choking hazards
for children.
But
because if you're an adult and you have eyes as a choking hazard, okay.
We need a digital acorn baby. The digital acorn baby is actually in the book, The Tiniest Little Acorn, which is the impetus of this particular acorn baby, which I'll bring and share with you. I don't have any upstairs right now.
Oh,
but
man.
We'll definitely, I don't have any upstairs right now.
Okay. Well, we'll remedy that. Lisa wrote an amazing, not just for children's book called The Tiniest Little Acorn, which was the origination and impetus of what she's holding in her hand right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you need the book, Sister Shirley. You need the Tiniest Little Acorn book. I think they should have the book for the event, okay? Because they kind of goes along. It'll make more sense if they've read the book, and it's a little thing, not just a children's book.
Yeah, we'll share it with you. Definitely, we'll share it with you. But maybe the acorn baby can also be an NFT, right?
Someone says, Andrea says, I love the acorn baby. The acorn baby has blonde hair. And
That's
Red
me.
Lee, whoop, whoop. Red Lee says, I love the Tiny Acorn book. Red Lee, how have you been? Red Lee is a professional, was it cupcake maker, cake decorator. She's actually been featured on daytime television with
Cake Boss.
Cake Boss. She was actually featured on Cake Boss, and she has amazing children. Supermom too. So Red Lee, how you doing?
How have you been? So
Shirley says, I will get that book with exclamation points.
Awesome. Definitely love the acorn baby. The blonde one is modeled after me, but I think my favorite one, and I probably need to remedy that because I love mine that looks like me, but is my brown skin girl.
Let me Andrea's talking about, is that Brian? No,
it's a girl.
Okay. I'm gonna say this too about Red Lee. I think still, she did it years ago. On my website has Red Lee reading my not just for children's book called Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople.
Yes,
she was reading it like to her children, and that's my favorite one. I've got others like that, Red, but yours is my favorite.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I appreciate
Red
it.
also says,
she says, y'all always make me smile. I be lurking, LOL.
A lot of people be lurking.
I know. You know what I find interesting, though? As much as Red is the girl mom, she has 5 daughters. I am enjoying her interactions with her nephew. She's got a nephew in the mix. And I'm like, whoa, Red with a boy? Oh, my goodness.
Let me tell you, Red is an example. Sister Myra Foster is another example. But to me, the moms with multiple children that are still entrepreneurial.
Absolutely.
Okay. They make it happen. They figure out a way. When you have a bunch of kids in the house, you got to have systems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You just can't be willy-nilly about anything. You got to have a system about how can you do business? How can you manage the children? How can you feed, clothe, get them clean, all that stuff, and run a business? Those women, to me, are the real superheroes.
Thank you, Shirley. Shirley says, you make my day. Well, you made ours by stopping through today.
And Shirley, is she in Mountain Time? So she's 2 hours behind us, right? Shirley, what time? I mean, if it's 9:51 here, it's 7:51 there. So she's getting up early to catch our show. Thank you.
I love it. I'm still dealing with time. I have 2 appointments today. I have one this evening because my client is in Central Time and she also works a day job. And good gracious, that means that I have to do stuff at night.
I got a client tonight.
I love her.
Yeah.
But I don't love working at night. My best time of the day is in the morning. I have to trick myself by going to sleep right before her appointment and waking up like it's the beginning of the day.
I tell people I only work 2 evenings a week, Wednesday or Thursday evening, but every now and then it has to be a Tuesday evening. So I have an 8:00 client myself tonight, but it won't be that long though. So I'm looking forward to mine at 8:00 tonight. Whoop, whoop.
I'm looking forward to them.
So it's time for us to get out of here.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Wednesday, Evaluation Day.
And Wealthy Wednesdays as well. Evaluation Day and Wealthy Wednesday. So we're going to talk about something having to do with your money, income, something like that.
We look forward to it. And don't forget to have sex.